So I'm just gonna dive right into it like this, Shaka and Nature Boy, right? If you ask any one of them, are you a real nigga? They'll say yes. If you ask both of them, are they a thorough nigga? Like a thorough kind of, they'll probably, they'll say yes. And if you ask them, okay, if you ask them if they were real men, like a real man, alpha type of dude or whatever like that, I'm pretty much sure they'll say yeah, right? Yeah. So I have to look at the behavior of these dudes, match how they say they are. Now I'm trying to figure out, why is these niggas ratting on females? For instance, like, okay, like the Nature Boy dude, right? Nature Boy dude or Velvet, right? So he's with her a certain amount of time. Velvet ended up leaving or whatever like that after like 2 or 3 years or whatever. So she got tired of being in a relationship. She has her reasons. I'm sure she'll say them. And then she decided to leave, right? And when she leaves, the Nature Boy dude, he gets online telling all her business. You used to do this, you used to do that, you had this to you, and I did that to you. And I'm thinking, like, does that sound like a thorough nigga? Does that sound like a real nigga? Does that sound like a real man? So we jump to the Shaka dude, right? Shaka dude, he has some words for the what's that girl name? The honor girl. He said he's seen her in some room or whatever, doing whatever. It don't matter. He telling everybody about what the fuck he saw. Why? Does a real nigga do that? Does a real man do that to a female? You see a girl doing whatever, do a real man, a real nigga or a thorough nigga see that shit and then go tell the motherfucking world. And you know what it really sounds, you know what this really, like I'm just on the side note, you know what this really, this reminds me of when I used to be in junior high, right, in Milwaukee. It reminds me of the dudes who just get their first piece of pussy, right? And then when a girl gets freaky with them or whatever, or the girl does whatever, they go and tell every motherfucker dude what happened. Really mail out. The girl gave you some pussy, she gave you something or whatever like that as a youngin' back in junior high. And these dudes will go out and start talking shit about the motherfucking female who looked out for them on that shit. Who looked out for them. So I'm trying to figure out, why do these dudes have the same mentality as dudes I used to go to junior high with? That shit is crazy to me. Snitching and ratting on females. Now, I heard the Nature Boy say some shit like, oh, Honor ain't fucking with us no more. She back on Instagram, thotting or whatever like that. Okay? And he said, and his definition of her thotting is her dancing sexually. In a video. That's his definition of thotting. That's crazy to me. And I'm thinking, like, why would a motherfucker who's a real nigga even give a fuck about none of that shit? Why would a real nigga even care? Because I'm sure he probably knew she was dancing sexually before he had his interaction with her and brought her over there. He knew that already. You know what I'm saying? The girls over there be dancing sexually or whatever like that. I seen a couple videos of Afro dancing and what I dance on Malia, all that shit dancing. So they thoughts too. So you got wives as thoughts too then. Because they just exhibiting the same similar type of behavior. They're dancing sexually because that's what you said your definition of thought is when it comes to the honor girl. And I'm figuring out, like, why would a thorough nigga even give a fuck about any of that shit? That was the problem. And then I look at the Shaka dude, right? This just came to mind. Look at the Shaka dude, right? He's saying, like, oh, the honor girl is a thought bad person or whatever it may be and all that type of shit and everything like that. But at the same time, he lets Nature Boy's baby mama, who was once his queen in this combination thing, suck his dick. That's what he said out of his own mouth. That's crazy to me. So I'm like, how can you? I think in there they said you can't point the finger at people, right? I think that's what some stuff I was like researching and everything. Like you can't point the finger at another person. But it's like when I look at the Shaka dude, I'm like, okay, how you pointing the finger when you did some weird, crazy shit over here, though? Like, you know what I'm saying? How is you talking shit about anybody when you just let, you know what I'm saying, that girl go down to you if it's true? You know what I'm saying? I just don't get. And I'm trying to figure out why the dude even got the Shaka Zulu name. Like, do you even know who Shaka Zulu was back in the day? The godlike black king for liberation of black people? Why does this nigga steal this man's name, dude, in history for? For what? So he can fuck his name up with this bullshit, like, for real? Behavior? You trying to discredit that man Shaka Zulu, the real motherfucking Shaka Zulu. That's wrong with you niggas out here. You're always trying to steal somebody else's name and shit. And then y'all don't exhibit the behavior of the man's name you stole. Just like Nature Boy. Nature Boy stole that fucking knowledge from the Europeans. He didn't invent metaphysics. He didn't invent quantum physics, whatever the fuck. He didn't invent none of that shit. None of that. He stole that knowledge from white people. Y'all some thieving ass niggas too, man. This nigga over here stealing a name, and this nigga over here stealing knowledge and all that type of shit from fucking Europeans and shit that he said that he hate. He said he hate white supremacy, right? I don't think he hate white supremacy. If he hated white supremacy, he would not be wearing that New York Yankee fucking hat on his head. Now let me give you a little history. Back in the day, they used to have a Negro League. It was like maybe like 5 or 6 teams or whatever, 5 or 6 or whatever, right? And then white people seeing that black people was doing shit without them and shit like that. So they wanted to start their own league. And the New York Yankees was created by white supremacists. And this fucking dude has that hat on his head. Almost every time I check back in with what's going on and shit, he got that hat on his head. Why does he have a white supremacist representation on his fucking head, man? If he hate white people. And if he's fighting white supremacy. That's crazy to me. But you got that hat on your on his head. And what that hat represents is white supremacy because it was created by white supremacists. Back in the day. They did not like black people. So I'm gonna move on to shit. I still don't understand why the Shaka Zulu dude got the African godlike king on his name. Because what a real man would do and what a real thorough nigga would do. See, I'm from Milwaukee, right? So I've been around, like, you know, everybody probably been around, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of real dudes or whatever like that. But it's like the code of conduct and the code of behavior that makes them a real one, right? It's the code of behavior, right? So as a youngin', I learned that, like, you know what I'm saying? So if somebody is a real nigga, right? If somebody asks him a question about what he's seen this girl do in a room, or what that girl did to him, or whatever like that, the real dude is gonna be like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Man, I ain't on that dude. I don't know what you're talking about. He, by behavior trait of being a real nigga or a thorough dude or whatever like that, you're not snitching and you're not ratting on anybody, male or female. You're not telling nobody else's business to no one. I'm sure people can agree with that. You're not going to say anything. And that's the reason why girls back in the day, right, they wouldn't be, right, fuck with certain dudes and shit. Because these niggas talk too motherfucking much. They run their motherfucking mouth too much. And I think it's some self-esteem issues. Like, why would you even say anything? Why would you even care? It reminded me of them dudes back in Milwaukee, man. It reminded me of them dudes back in Milwaukee. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Talking too fucking much about shit, man. Because the real dude ain't gonna tell you nothing, dude. He ain't give you no clues or nothing. You really gonna be like, man, get the fuck out of my face, dude. Ask her. Ask her, dude. Ask her about that. Go ask somebody else. You ain't gonna ask me, because I'm not telling you shit. You stick to the code and shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't rat, you don't snitch about none of that shit. Especially if you know it's it's something crazy like this. It's a female though. These niggas real life out here snitching on females, dude. This shit is incredible, dude. I never, never, never expected to see that shit. So I had to speak up on it. And I think with the Nature Boy thing was he was like saying like she died on the internet and all that type of shit or whatever like that, whatever the fuck that means. So I think what it is with the honor girl with dude is the honor girl just gonna do what the fuck she wanna do. I think Nature Boy thought he had her mind controlled or whatever, some shit. He really thought he had her brain or whatever like that. And he found out that he didn't, and he upset about it probably. Because he can't control it. So what I see a lot of it is that they call it your lower self, right? When you don't do what he tells you to do, then you're like saying like you're in your lower self then. So when I started examining the higher self and lower self shit, I started to realize some things like anybody who has a moment in their lower self is a problem with somebody who's in their higher self. That's why they keep saying like, hey, you're in your lower self. You're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be there. Because people in their lower self do what the fuck they want to do. And you cannot stop them. You can't control them. You can't threaten them. You can't do none of that shit. And they will seek to destroy. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because even back in the Hawaii shit, dude, I was like trying to figure shit out. I was like, damn. I was like, well, this dude says he's the Messiah, whatever it may be. He has the supreme knowledge. He's smarter than so many people on the earth. And he gets arrested for petting a turtle or some shit, right? But I'm thinking, like, if you're that intelligent, why can't you stop these fucking people who are in their higher self, in their lower self, from taking your ass to jail, dude? Your whole fucking tribe goes to jail. But you're supposed to think smarter than somebody who's in their lower self, but you can't stop that motherfucker from taking you to jail, your whole tribe. So when I look at the honor situation, it's really looking at it like he really thought, same way with Velvet, he really thought he hurt behind it because he really thought he had that girl on mind. He just could keep on doing whatever to it, and she's just going to accept it forever type of shit, I guess. Give her a baby, have sex with her, whatever. I don't know. Whatever the fuck he thought he was doing. She was with that dude for all that time and still left. She still left. And it seemed like people over in what's that, carbonation shit, they got problems with people who can think for themselves, which is fucking crazy, dude. If anybody thinks for themselves and don't allow the Nature Boy dude to think for them, they are considered a demon or some shit. That shit is fucking crazy to me. So that's what it seemed like it's about. I can't control you, so I'm gonna talk shit about you. Same shit like in high school. If a dude tried to holler at a female, and she wanted to do what the fuck she wanted to do, and didn't want to holler at him or whatever like that, he'll start making rumors about her ass. He'll start talking shit about her. Oh, she ain't this and she ain't that, blah blah. But you don't even know that girl. You ain't even met her like that. But you're talking shit about her. That's like high school shit again. These dudes seem like they stuck in like some childhood type of behavior. I think both of them do got severe childhood trauma. I believe so. If I was able to sit down and examine these dudes like that properly, I will find a lot of childhood trauma. Because it seems like that Nature Boy dude is trying to turn women into his mother. And he's fucked up still because he didn't have no parents. And this is probably why he don't want nobody else to have their fucking kids. Because his mom didn't want him as a kid. That's that shit over there. I could see that all day. I noticed that. And he degrades and destroys black women because he's hurt by what his mama didn't do for him growing up. Pretty much. That shit ain't really hard. He got his own childhood traumas. And I don't understand how is this dude emotionally and mentally fit to leave a tribe of people. Well, yeah, you can leave a tribe of people if they're slaves. Yeah, pretty much all them people over there are slaves. Yeah. So it's probably easier. Yeah. Because they're slaves. They can't think for themselves. It's like the plantation back in the 1700s when white people was enslaving black people. Like that place over there, wherever they go, is like a plantation, I'm sure. I'm sure if anybody speak out about the experience in there, it's like a plantation. It has to be. Because I can tell about dude behavior. But anyway, let me push on. I just want to be able to address that. You know what I mean? I just do research on environmental studies, human psychology and behavior. And, a lot of it is expertise in the black community because I've been there for 30 plus years. So when I see this is like live specimen for me. This is like case studies for me, like to be able to study certain shit to try to understand why niggas snitch and rat and talk too much and disrespect females so much. I don't know. I don't understand how they call themselves real niggas, man. Like, and they snitching on females. This dude snitched on his own baby mama, man. His own baby mama. One day he love her, the next day he don't. One day he love her, next day he don't. Some shit like that. And he mad because she don't want him no more. And he hurt behind it. He's still hurt. I bet she's still hurt. So I'm like, if you a real nigga, you wouldn't give a fuck about none of that shit. That's what I'm saying. If you a thorough nigga and your baby mama left you and all that shit, you'll be like, hey, yo, you know what I'm saying, man? Fuck that, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you'll still keep the code and shit. You'll be like, man, I'm not talking about that chick, man. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta like keep the code on the street shit that you say you are. You gotta be like, somebody asks you and shit, you be like, man, you know, that's my baby mom, whatever like that. You know, talk to her about that shit. I ain't got nothing to say about it. I'm silent on it. I plead the fifth. You know what I'm saying? And I move around and shit. You say something else, ask me some other questions, we're gonna have a problem. That's how real niggas talk. At least from Milwaukee. That's how thorough niggas are. From Milwaukee, from what I've been around, they're not telling you shit. Them other motherfuckers is opening their mouth telling all them girls business and shit like that. Them ain't the ones, dude. That shit is crazy to me. When I was hearing that shit, I was like, dog, is these dudes really out here snitching and ratting? And the SHAKA ZULU, dude, it don't like it's just like if you seen a chick do whatever, man, like, aren't you supposed to shut the fuck up? Really? Aren't you just supposed to just be quiet when somebody asks you? I think these dudes are really, really in their feelings about a lot of stuff. They have a lot of feminine energy, probably. A lot of it. If you're around them long enough and shit like that, somebody would be able to see it. I can see it just through the behavior. Because whoever you say you are is wrapped around your soul. If you're a real nigga, it's wrapped around your soul. How we say it in Milwaukee, no cracks, no flaws, no leaks. You solid like that. Right? That's what I learned. You know what I'm saying? By being around certain people. So, I don't know, I'm going to go ahead and end it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I'm going to get back to my research and everything. I just kind of like wanted to chime in and address that because it's part of my research. And, you know, just advice to, you know, black males out there, man. Stop running y'all motherfucking mouth so much. This is why y'all going to fucking jail. This is why motherfuckers know your business. This is why motherfuckers is robbing you. This is why motherfuckers is killing your homeboys and even probably will kill you one day because you niggas run your motherfucking mouth too much and tell all your business. It seems like motherfuckers got self-esteem issues that they need to be validated by other people. They're not secure in their own manhood. That's why they need validation from other individuals and do all that weird shit. Because they still children. They just have grown bodies and shit.